Hey everyone, what's going on? These are a few instances that were never meant to be captured on camera. I was so excited about the stage that I didn't notice the audience when I started to jump. From Sent hurling mics like grenades and Takashi belly flopping into people that failed to see him. It was all completely insane. It only gets wilder from here, I promise, family. The infant accuses the Flash of slapping a fan. Hey family, take a second look at this. March in Tampa, Florida. Whiskey North nightclub. Additionally, a baby is making his way through a crowded area on his way to the stage for a second concert after the party. There are phones everywhere. Flashes appear as if they were paparazzi on overdrive. Additionally, one admirer puts her phone so close to his face that the flash almost burns a hole in it. Second, via his retina. The next scene is the one that was not meant to be captured on camera. Almost immediately, the infant responds by slapping her second face with an open hand, knocking her back before moving ahead without pausing. He was instantly jeered by the crowd, and the video appeared on TMZ before you could say seconds. Zoom in. Tyrannical law. The woman came forward and claimed to have had a medical visit and a bruise to her cheekbone. She sued for battery and second emotional distress. The following day, the infant posted his own version of an apology on Instagram. Honestly, family, that was something else. Seconds. I'm truly sorry. I apologize deeply that a woman was using the flashlight on the phone during that minute. However, Homie continued, essentially advising followers to understand how a camera zoom operates. Seconds. But how many of their fans were able to zoom in? Simply enlarge the image. Seconds. He claimed that regardless of gender, he would have responded in the same manner. Tyrona claimed she was cyberbullied online minute after minute and rejected the apology as being fake. No criminal charges were ever brought, but the civil matter was apparently settled subsequently. Speaking of hurling objects at people, wait until you hear what Cardi B did with the entire microphone. It was a reactive moment in a chaotic situation that turned into one of the second most contentious concert moments. A second sheer mic is thrown into the audience by Cardi B. Hello, it's July at a dry beach club in Las Vegas, and Cardi B is performing Bodak Yellow at a second pool party in the sweltering heat. She is constantly urging the audience to douse her with water to help her cool off. It sounds enjoyable, doesn't it? One fan, however, took it literally and hurled a full drink, liquid and ice, directly at Card's face. Now, family, if you are familiar with Cardi, you are aware that she is not the kind to turn the other cheek. Minutes later, she snatched the microphone and threw it into the crowd as if she were a Yankees pitcher. A woman filed a police report for violence after claiming she was hit by the microphone. Within hours, the minute-by-minute footage became viral. You name it, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, etc. After she flung the microphone, some admirers noticed that her vocals continued to play, which led to an entirely different, lip-syncing debates in minutes and seconds. Despite conducting an investigation, Las Vegas police declared that no criminal charges would be brought due to insufficient evidence. However, the woman filed a civil case against Cardi at the venue for assault, violence, and emotional distress in July. Card's legal team described it as a blatant and poor attempt at a financial shakedown that took only a few minutes. According to Cardi, it was an instinctive response to feeling insulted after being splashed in the face. She never, seconds, apologized formally for the actual throw and explained it away as a heat-related incident. Fans were divided. Seconds. Some claimed that because she was struck first, she was justified. Some claimed that it is always risky to toss a hefty microphone into a crowd. However, if you believe that a single mic throw is insignificant, sent through two in a single evening. Sent attacks a radio host and tosses two microphones. August Crypto, family. The venue seconds in Los Angeles, and Sent are performing with YG on his last lap tour. The audio crew now seems to have made the decision to destroy his evening by continuously giving him minutes and second-hand broken mics. One dead microphone, followed by another. Fifth has had enough. What then did he do? He initiated both of seconds, minutes. The first one left the stage and headed toward the crew area. The second one soared more forcefully and hit Brahana Ma9, a midday host for Power Minutes, Seconds Radio, squarely in the head. She sustained wrist discomfort, a concussion, and a gash on her forehead. Images of her bleeding wound went viral on the internet minutes after. In a statement, his lawyer Scott Lehman said, "Let's be absolutely clear. Curtis, my client, would never purposefully hit someone with a minutes or seconds microphone." In the meantime, he took to Instagram, making jokes about firing the audio crew and tagging Lil Wayne for comedic effect without offering a formal apology to the minutes seconds real victim. After the LAPD looked into it as battery but decided not to file any criminal charges in November, Monaghan filed a civil case in January to recover damages for assault, battery, and carelessness. Now, this wasn't even his first encounter with fan conflicts that lasted for minutes. He hit the woman in the chest after she grabbed his arm and pulled him off the stage at Baltimore Soundstage. Then, at Minutes Second Summer Jam, he was thrown a metal chair, which he caught in midair with one hand. That is the pinnacle of sense energy. However, Kodak Black had a completely different kind of failure occurring on stage, while Fifth spent minutes and seconds dealing with malfunctioning microphones. For Kodak Black to remain upright, security is necessary. Minutes, seconds. Hey, buddy, this is not so much humorous as it is worrisome. Early viral video showed minutes and seconds of Kodak Black playing on stage while security officers physically held him upright from behind, supporting his weight as he battled to maintain minutes and seconds balance, appearing during a Texas event. The guards were literally holding him up like a department store mannequin while he continued to act and make gestures to the audience. More quickly than rumors in a barbershop, the minutes-long clip went viral on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. His minutes and seconds team swiftly took to Instagram, sharing videos that refuted the necessity for him to be delayed and asserted that security was only keeping him safe during regular operations. Minutes, seconds of motion. However, the pattern was already present. Family. At Rolling Loud Miami in December, Kodak showed up about an hour late, walked the stage without a microphone, ran into dancers, changed clothes in the middle of the performance, and appeared utterly uninterested. Then there was the time he performed in Austin, Texas, wearing nothing but his boxers. Minutes and seconds, which, to be honest, left more questions than answers. Fans were divided between sincere concern and contempt. Remarks included "he needs minutes, stop now," and offer prayers to those who claim that this was simply normal Kodak energy. He even went to the emergency room, which, minutes later, generated rumors that he had overdosed when a widely shared video showed him being taken on a stretcher to Broward Health Hospital. There was never an official confirmation. Now, minutes and seconds later, Lil Durk had people concerned about ever offending King Von in his presence, while Kodak had people worried about his health. For minutes, Lil Durk disrespects King Von by pushing a fan. People, what's cracking? Lil Durk's mid-pipe appearance at the Joondalup Stadium in Rotterdam is part of his European tour. King's minutes, seconds, and Von's insane story begin, and the building's atmosphere changes. Now, Von was more than Durk's haphazard associate. Durk was not amused when a fan in the crowd allegedly began making disparaging remarks about Von minutes, seconds, while his song was playing. This was his brother, Minutes Seconds, who was shot and killed in Atlanta in November. After telling the DJ to stop the music right away and pointing directly at the audience, he said, "Yeah, you." A few minutes later, Durk approached the edge of the stage, confronted the fan, exchanged insults, and pushed him back. Durk glared at the man as if he were about to jump off the stage, but security intervened and pushed him back for a few minutes. I don't give a damn where I'm minutes or seconds at. Nobody disrespecting Von in this. You know how we rocking, he said to the entire audience as he took the microphone. Minutes, seconds. He immediately resumed his performances as if nothing had happened. No charges or lawsuits were filed. Fans overwhelmingly supported him. The F community referred to it as loyalty. Some reports even claimed the guy was wearing a young boy's shirt, which, if true, is essentially walking into a lion's den wearing a Minute Steak costume. The video, more than anything else, reinforced Durk's street image. Minutes, seconds, but Durk wasn't the only performer who had to cancel shows due to disruptive crowd behavior. Glorilla had to cancel an entire show due to her fans' incessant fighting. Hey Yo Family! March, The Factory in Chesterfield, Missouri, and Glorilla are headlining her amazing tour. The evening begins fantastically. Fans are excited. The energy is right. However, after the intermission, several fights break out in general admission. Not just one or two, but enough that Glow had to pause her set at least 3 times. That commentary essentially summed up the entire situation. She tried everything. She called out to the crowd, saying, "Come on. Minutes, seconds, and now. You're all better than that. Nobody did anything that bad for y'all to be out there fighting," she informed them. "You should be enjoying yourself while being glorious at the glorious tour in a matter of minutes and seconds." The fighting continued even after she dropped the line, saying, "I think you guys came to the wrong show. It's not WWE, guys." Glow finally called, saying, "We got to end the show, St. Louis, after a few minutes and seconds. It's another Mother Finn battle in minutes and seconds. We had to ensure safety first, even if I didn't want to do this." The battles reportedly lasted for minutes after she exited the premises, making a heart-shaped motion with her hands. When it comes to stages becoming chaotic, Tekashi could not even get a crowd to catch him, and his stage dives go horribly wrong. All right, fam. Early, Tekashi was at the height of his chaos era. Fans who were actually there to enjoy the music praised her for putting safety first. Minutes, seconds, the ones throwing hands caught all the internet shame. Tekashi was performing at a Fetty Wap show in Montclair, New Jersey, when he got so excited that he threw himself off the stage, and the crowd just parted like the Red Sea. He minutes, seconds, hit the floor hard, then tried it again the same weekend and ate another fall. Normally, when an artist does a stage dive, the crowd catches them, which is literally the whole point. Minutes, seconds. They didn't actually get him. He later acknowledged in interviews that he saw God in midair and that God told him to get ready for impact. Minutes, seconds. Everyone tells me that I jump in a group of girls, like it was just some frail-ass girls. You know what I mean? Because every time I jump, I hit a spin so I don't hit anyone with my knees. The dives were embarrassing enough, but in September, during a show in Russia, a fan rushed the stage and violently shoved him from behind, almost flipping him over. His crew immediately jumped on the fan and gave him a full beat down, minutes and seconds right there on stage. I'm looking in midair, but I'm already hitting, to land on my back. He even joked about fearing paralysis, but kept performing. While Tekashi was watching, they dragged him down, punched, kicked, and stomped him. The stage dive clips became some of the most meme-worthy rap moments of all, and the Russia push became a whole other debate about security and entourage violence. But at least Tekashi was attempting to engage with fans. Drake was out here defending them. Minutes, seconds. Drake calls out a fan wrestling a woman. Minutes, seconds. Yo, homie. August Kia Forum in Englewood. And Drake is wrapping up another stop on his It's All a Blur tour with Savage. As he leaves the stage, he throws his sweaty towel into the crowd as a souvenir, as many artists do, and a female fan catches it clean. This should have been a cool moment, but it wasn't. A male fan started wrestling the woman for the towel right away, pushing her and attempting to take it by force. Drake was already heading backstage when he noticed the disturbance. He halted, pivoted, and shouted at the man from the edge of the stage, saying something like, "Give it to her. Are you insane? Give it to her. Are you stupid?" According to reports, the woman kept the towel after the male retreated. Security took care of the minutes, followed by the remainder. There were no lawsuits, no police reports, and no drama beyond the video going viral. However, this was not even Drake's most awkward minutes and seconds fan interaction. At a Manchester concert, a red-haired fan approached him during a crowd moment, and he pulled back, saying something like, "I thought we knew each other for minutes and seconds." I mistakenly believed that to be my former classic Drake. During the same tour's Chicago stop, he was struck by a phone as well, although he continued to perform. However, Quavo and Offset were backstage at the Grammy Awards hurling hands at each other while Drake was performing Hero. Backstage at the Grammy Awards, Quavo and Offset brawl for minutes and seconds. Hey everyone, it's the Grammy Awards in crypto on February 3rd. The Forum Arena in Los Angeles. Takeoff, who was shot and killed in November at a Houston bowling alley, is among the musicians honored in the show's Minutes in Memoriam portion. Quavo and Offset were invited to take part in a tribute performance in the Grammys Minutes. According to reports, Quo, who had planned a rendition of Without You with Maverick City Music, would not allow Offset to accompany him on stage. Minutes and seconds, both of you. Backstage, the tension was already high. Minutes later, Offset tried to join Quavo as he was getting ready to enter the stage, but Quavo blocked him, sparking a furious dispute that turned into a physical altercation, according to TMZ sources. It took several individuals minutes and seconds to separate them. Minutes, seconds. The fight remained backstage and was never seen on the live broadcast. After that, minutes and seconds passed. Quavo went out and gave a moving solo tribute. Fans were devastated when Offset denied the physical incident on Twitter the following day, writing, "What TF looked like fighting my brother Yao in minutes. Seconds is crazy." With that term going viral on social media for days, the general consensus was that Takeoff would not have desired this. Minutes, seconds. The event revealed profound cracks in Migos that would never mend. Speaking of strained relationships at award ceremonies, The Game and Young Thug got into a fight at BET after throwing hands. Backstage at the September BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta, Minutes and Seconds fam is already a pressure cooker of egos and entourages. Minutes, seconds. The Game is a veteran of the West Coast. Young Thug is an unconventional emerging sensation from Atlanta who doesn't give a damn about what people think for minutes or seconds. He also sounds and dresses differently. Social media interactions and subtly disparaging remarks had been causing tensions between them. What transpired next remained behind the scenes and was never captured on camera for public consumption, which is precisely what makes it so ideal for our list. Before security broke it up, the scene reportedly escalated into pushing, minutes, seconds of shoving, and a brief altercation involving both rappers and maybe members of their entourage. Even so, Young Thug continued to perform with T.I. on About the Money that evening, and he seemed unfazed as he walked the red carpet. No charges, no arrests, and no video. However, the tension persisted for minutes at a time. By using social media threats, weapons on film, and diss tracks, their feud became widely known. After a few minutes and seconds, Young Thug made a video apology in which he expressed his desire to put an end to everything. The Game acknowledged it on Instagram, stating, "I think it takes a minute, seconds, or a real night to apologize and dead some shit." According to reports, they resolved the conflict several times with assistance from friends and acquaintances. However, The Game and Young Thug weren't the only ones battling at BET that year. Years before, Ross and Jeezy's crews had already established the standard. Rick Ross as well as Young Jeezy crews fights at BET for minutes and seconds. People, what's cracking? The backstage area of the September BET Hip Hop Awards at the Atlanta Civic Center is essentially a war zone waiting to happen. Due to street politics and alliances, Rick Ross's yelling out Big Meech on his song BMF, which Jeezy took personally, has been a major source of tension between him and Young Jeezy for years. Minutes later, a verbal altercation between the two groups turned into pushing and shoving backstage, which developed into a full-fledged physical altercation involving several members of both entourages. There were unconfirmed allegations of gunshots during the chaotic minutes and seconds that purportedly spread toward the parking lot, but Atlanta police later emphasized that no rounds were fired. However, the night was more than just minutes and seconds. Separately, Sense Gunnet's crew got into a fight with Gunplay, Ross's Maybach Music Group protege, during the parking minutes, second slot. According to reports, Gunplay was by himself when he came across many crew members. He said he engaged one of them in a one-on-one fight before being jumped by. Minutes, seconds, 4 or 5 more. Leaked footage showed him being thrown into a barricade as police sprayed him with pepper to break it up. Minutes after the fight, his chain was seized. Later, Gunplay claimed on The Breakfast Club that he stood up in the paint as a true G should. One of the most exciting nights in award show history is still the BET Awards. Minutes or seconds, but things don't always go as planned during award events. Nicki Minaj also had a dilemma with her attire that was never meant to be seen. Nicki Minaj's tour wardrobe malfunction. Minutes, seconds. Okay, family. Nicki Minaj is leading her Pink Friday International Tour at the March Kia Center in Orlando. She gives the audience the microphone to sing the chorus of her hit song, "The Night Is Still Young," during a minute-long fan interaction session. She is dancing, moving around, and doing Nicki things while sporting a yellow mini dress. The strap then breaks. She gripped her top, adjusted it, and continued without pausing the performance for minutes or seconds. Minutes, seconds later, she stated, "Meanwhile, my boob is out, and no one told me," looking at the audience with obvious sadness. However, this wasn't even her first incident involving her outfit. She underwent a last-minute wardrobe change at the VMAs, switching from her Anaconda ensemble to a black mini dress for Bang Bang alongside Jessie J and Ariana Grande. And the garment wasn't fully zipped. She performed with one hand while holding the front with the other for the whole of the performance. Minutes, seconds later, during Majesty's performance at the Made in America event, her top fell backward, revealing her breasts before she adjusted in the middle of the dance. At least that time, she was wearing pasties for minutes. She continued to perform and handled each situation like a pro, which, to be honest, just increased her appreciation. However, NBA YoungBoy had some comments for supporters who continued to put him to the test. Speaking of stages where no one knew what would happen next, NBA YoungBoy has been threatening fans and hurling things for minutes. Hello, NBA YoungBoy is halfway through his Massa tour in October, Columbia, South Carolina. As is typical for a YoungBoy performance, the second-minute crowd is boisterous, but one fan keeps hurling items onto the stage. Minutes, seconds, flags, bandanas, shirts, anything he could get his hands on. At first, YoungBoy made an effort to ignore it, but he ultimately gave up. Minutes, seconds, hey, try it once again. You want this, boy, to break your face. Repeat it once more. I noticed you. He was staring at the man, pointing at him, for minutes on end. Minutes, seconds, hey, let's give it another go. Man, don't be shy. Man, I don't have to struggle. Hey, boy, stop doing it. I'll tell you. Minutes, seconds. He stressed that people paid to watch the broadcast and cautioned the fan not to test him. Although there was no physical altercation during the show's continuation following the warning, young Minutes and Seconds Boy's behavior was not new. He left the stage and entered the crowd back in September at the National in Richmond, Virginia. He focused on a particular man, swung at Minutes, Seconds him, and started a full-fledged altercation. Fans were told to leave as commotion broke out and security raced in. In response, the Richmond police even issued a second call in Mayday Minutes. This level of intensity is typical of YoungBoy concerts. He doesn't play around and demands respect in his own space. Minutes, seconds, but a list of unwanted stage moments wouldn't be complete without the most famous one. Lil Mama crashes. Alicia Keys and Jay-Z at the Virtual Machine. This is the one that endures forever. Family. Radio Minutes, Seconds. City Music Hall in New York City will host the MTV Video Music Awards on September 3rd. Additionally, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys will perform Empire State of Mind as the show's finale. This was a significant occasion for the city as well as for them both. It's an electrifying audience. Minutes, seconds. The performance is famous. Suddenly, Lil Mama leaps from her seat, rushes onto the stage without being asked, and begins to dance beside them as if she were a part of the performance. Jay-Z retreated to make room, clearly irritated. Alicia Keys later stated on Drink Champs that she was so locked in that she did. Lil Mama wasn't even spotted for a few minutes until Jay-Z informed her backstage. The internet was not amused by Lil Mama's manager's statement the next day, which claimed that she did not mean any minutes or seconds of disrespect and that her emotions were running high as a New Yorker honoring her two legends. On TV, social media, and secondary media, she was completely annihilated. Years later, she broke down in tears as she described the backlash, claiming that the subsequent public humiliation and depression had a profound impact on her. She was truly moved when she mentioned that it was her grandmother's birthday. Minutes, seconds to his credit, Jay-Z pardoned her in a Twitter Spaces exchange, stating, "That's our sister, man. We love her. She's a New Yorker." She got minutes, seconds, excitement. Things happened. Kanye West also interrupted Taylor Swift that evening. To be honest, VMAs were simply constructed differently. This, minutes, seconds, is still one of the most famous unwanted stage moments in music history, and it's the ideal way to wrap up this list of rap show moments that were never, ever meant to be captured on camera. Minutes, seconds, that's all for now, family. Make sure to click on the card that appears on the screen for further information. Till the next time.